Yeah, let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, the beast back. Not on me.
That's why Rico Dowdle coming for a Chuba spot.
Stop it. Stop it.
Hey,
Chuba top
Chuba
5
this year, too,
incoming
bro.
season right now.
I'm
I'm
drafting
calling
him
it.
this year.
Top 5.
I'm
Watch that boy go crazy.
I'm drafting him this year.
Hey, go ahead. Hey, you better get him before I do.
You better get him before I do. I'm drafting him this year. I see something.
I been saw it. I saw it 2 years ago.
I'm glad you did. Hey, it is what it is. I done been there and did that before.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Don't worry, I got a few more. It don't even matter. You know, I always keep an ace up my sleeve. I got quite a few more. Hey, listen.
I just ain't won no championships. I done put Todd Gurley and the boys on the map. You know what I'm saying?
You did. Hey, you did. Le'Veon before he decided to sit out the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I saw you. You know, I saw you.
Chuba. Now go ahead, cool. We sorry, yo.
No.
Hey, we started early. It's been a while.
No, man, love it, man. You gotta love it, man. I'm like y'all. I got a couple. I'm like a sniper sitting out in the field. I got my target on a couple of
already.
Oh yes, sir.
Pause. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys, man, what you guys think about us coming out with the draft picks earlier this year? Is it making the league more exciting?
To me, it is.
Getting a buzz a little earlier. Yeah, from my experience, I mean, you know, we ain't necessarily in the thick of it yet, so the chat ain't jumping yet. But in my experience, from the years I've been with y'all, it seemed like this was the smoother process. Mm-hmm. Like it didn't seem like it was a whole lot of banter about this and that, or how we do, like, you know what I'm saying? No controversy over ping pong balls and things of that nature. Like it just seemed like this was the smoothest process. I think incorporating the show with it, and you know, having everybody tap into the show as far as getting their pick. You know, everything we did. You know, I feel like MPR deserve a little pat on the back, man. You know, the MPR pod, we deserve a little pat on the back for how we did.
Sir.
We did that, man. We did that. You know what I mean? Two leagues, standard, PPR. You know, Commish had all the numbers ready, and they had, we had everything, all ducks in a row, man. So, you know, that was a live show. That was one of our better shows in some time.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you why it's so quiet too, yo. They don't want to talk about it. They scared to say it, man. People on that goddamn mark. I'm telling you, bro. People know they know they draft picks too early. Yeah.
They mocking like crazy.
They already know who they want to trade, where they want to trade. Looking at it like, because I know that's what I'm doing. So, not saying everybody move like I move, but I'm just saying like it will make sense to go ahead.
Man, we already know revenge season don't do any trades, so.
No, that's what won me the championships both years. Me trading. What won me last year was I traded a couple draft picks.
Okay.
Yeah. Because basically I drafted my team that won me the championship. I just had a couple pickups. Yeah. You know, a little flex. You know.
Little small flex for him. I ain't mad at it, man. When you the champ, you got to flex on the man now and then, man. But man, this episode, man, we ain't gotta kick it too long, man. We're gonna give it to them live and direct, short and sweet, man. I feel like we got some real easy topics, but some topics that will address some things that some of these fantasy managers are looking at for the upcoming draft. So obviously we got some NFL news. Let's dive into that first and foremost, man. The NFL news of the week. Brock Purdy feeling real purdy these days. 5 year, 265, man. Contract extension. 181 guaranteed. The man got a no trade clause, ladies and gentlemen. That man got something that LeBron James got. Let's put that in perspective. But we got a 181 guaranteed, 5 years. Most of this contract is front loaded, 165 over the first 3 years. I'll go ahead and just get my thoughts out the way, man. I like it. Actually, honestly, they I feel like Purdy and McCaffrey and Kittle are basically their only mainstays. So they got Kittle and the left tackle. I don't know why I can't never. Oh, Trent Williams.
Trent Williams,
Like I feel like those are the
silverback.
mainstays of the team. So I mean, and then obviously the guys on the defensive side. Ayuk is still trying to battle his way back from injury after his contract last year. You guys, the Commanders picked up Debo Samuel. So I feel like the mainstays you gotta what you gotta invest in. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and these days, 265 ain't even that crazy. I mean, that's basically these days that's the going rate. If you're doing a 5 year deal, if you're doing a long term deal with a quarterback, that's basically the going rate. It's basically around anywhere from 240 to 260. So uh, I feel like they lock it up. The no trade clause. I'm not I'm not sure how you pulled that off. He must have some great representation. Not sure how you pulled that off, but nonetheless, I think San Fran kind of has they're very much kind of like the Eagles and the Chiefs, where they got their coaching staff and their nucleus in place for what they do. Andy
Mhm.
Reid gonna do what he do with the Chiefs. The Eagles gonna do what they do behind Jalen Hurts, and that's kind of how the Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers are. They got their game plan and how they're gonna attack, and how they're gonna play week to week. And Purdy is obviously the head of that snake. So you lock it up, you get it done. It doesn't really necessarily matter how great anybody necessarily thinks he is individually. I think he's a system. I think he's a system guy. I think he's a guy that tries to keep mistakes to a minimum. So they lock him up, man. This the going rate. I'm not wowed by numbers anymore. So y'all tell me what y'all think, man.
I think Purdy, like you said, he's definitely a system quarterback, but the no trade clause was perfect for him because I don't think he would shine like he does anywhere else other than the 49ers. Him and that Kyle, you know, that Coach Kyle and him, they click and he fits
Mhm.
right into that system. So, he wants to be with Shanahan. That's why he put that no trade clause in there so that he can stay with Kyle Shanahan and continue to run that system. And he might not be the Peyton Manning at the line of scrimmage. Kyle Shanahan, if you know Kyle Shanahan, he was a commander, Redskin, whatever at the time. But he's a coach that like to call the plays, and he don't like you to change his plays when he call his plays. So Purdy gonna run the play that he call in, and he gonna execute. And like you said, he minimizes the mistakes. He's learning that system. He's a great system quarterback with Kyle Shanahan. So that was important probably for him to get that no trade clause. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My take on it, man, like enough said, like just to piggyback off everything you guys said, man. Purdy is that guy, bro. Like, and the reason why I said that first full season as a starter, can't forget he took them to the Super Bowl. Did they win it? No, but he took them to the Super Bowl. Like that's enough for me to be like, you know what I'm saying, and to compile the seasons that he's already shown us. Like the guy ain't no joke. He can score running the ball. He can score passing the ball. His biggest issue, and I wouldn't really say his issue is like the availability of his weapons. You know, whether it would have been Debo, Christian McCaffrey, Brendan Ayuk at the time, George Kittle. He's seemed to get hurt every year. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So yeah, Purdy deserve it. You know, he's not that wow factor that stand out. But yeah, man, drafted in the seventh round. Like, here's another quarterback. You know, we can go back and talk about these quarterbacks getting drafted late or what have you. But look at the product that that they're displaying now. 5 year, $265 million, and I want to say 53 million of that is guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, Purdy gonna do Purdy things, man. He just need his guys available for him to actually be Purdy. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
hard You know what I'm saying? It's definitely kind of hard driving a car with bad tires on it. You need your guys there. You need that tread there. That you know what I'm saying. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. He needs Christian McCaffrey there. He needs, like I said, they don't no longer have Debo, but he needs Juwan Jennings and Parcell and George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk to come into form like we know he can. So yeah, man, Kyle Shanahan gonna draw the plays up. He gonna call them. The defense is gonna be the 49ers defense, but yeah, man, Purdy deserve it. I don't have no pushback on it. He deserved it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. No, that's good stuff, man. I think my brother revenge season stepped out, but yeah, like I said, man, 165 guaranteed, man. You talking about the 5 year deal. So I mean, and kind of if you look at the language of his contract and the numbers wise, and you go basically average that out with the other guys, such as a Josh Allen, such as the guys that just recently got paid, Tua and guys of that nature. I know.
Yeah,
Mentioned a couple saying that he wanted to. He felt like there was some comp between Purdy's contract and Tua's contract. What was your thoughts on that? I mean, as far
Um,
are you talking about as far as basically kind of their skill sets where they kind of both maybe have some system quarterback to them? What are you basing that comp on?
well, because both of them are system contract. I mean, excuse me, system contract. Both of them are system quarterbacks, and like the commissioner was saying earlier about the availability of his weapons. I think that that had a lot to do with them getting to the Super Bowl. I mean, there's no other way around it. San Francisco was stacked that year.
yeah,
They went to the Super Bowl, and now with Purdy getting this big contract, if somebody is out, like you the man now, you got all this money, you got to still be able to take them with a player missing. Like like a JD5, he didn't have a stacked squad like that or number one defense, and he took them to the one game from the Super Bowl. But Purdy, there's no excuses now. Purdy, if somebody's out, like Debo's gone, you can subtract Debo. Purdy's still gonna have to you're gonna have to make it work. If Ayuk isn't there in the beginning, they're gonna expect you to make things happen now without all of those superstar players around you to carry you when you get that contract. And the reason I say that with Tua, because their contracts are a little different. The money is different. When you look at it,
Just
Purdy
for
contract is
comparisons,
bigger.
Cup, Tua 4 years, 212, and 167 guaranteed. Purdy was 165 guaranteed, but he got 265 total. So,
Right, but that he'll never get the last year of that contract. It'll be reworked and stuff like that. That's how they do the last year of those contracts. But for the most part, like Tua got 1 year less with similar money. But Tua kind of showed his worth a little bit, being that the team didn't do as well without him. Like he's a system quarterback that he's the cog to make that system go. Even though he's not going to do a whole lot of running, and they got to protect him, and he gets the ball out quick. But he's the point guard that's hitting everybody right in their stride.
wouldn't you say that there's something to be said for the fact that Purdy is for the most part healthy, and
I would. I
Tua
know
has,
I would.
Tua has obviously
I can't necessarily say that because what he tear? He tore his. He had a couple of injuries too.
I mean, obviously, we only talking about the better part of 2 seasons. Where obviously that he's been the starter. So the first season he was healthy, and the better part of the second season he did get. I know you're saying he got nicked up, but Tua, I mean, his head injuries were significant, and they go back. They go all the way back to college. Purdy isn't necessarily in that boat.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think there might be something said for the fact that I think that San Fran can, for the most part, if you keep the offensive line protecting him, I think they can probably depend on his availability, like you said in the beginning of what you were
Yeah,
saying. Whereas
yeah,
Tua, maybe not so much.
yeah.
You know what I
He,
mean?
they definitely got that. They gotta keep Tua upright. He can't take sacks. They like run the the 3-second offense. 3 seconds, the ball out his hands. They have to.
Yeah, we're gonna move on from this. Revenge, did you wanna wrap this topic up, man? Purdy, 265, 165 guaranteed.
Hey, you know, Purdy was my guy when I found him when he was a rookie. Everybody, you know, overlooked him, but you know, I'm happy for him. I think it's well deserved. He's more than a system quarterback to me, but you know, that's neither here nor there. I think it's more deserved than anything else. Y'all hit everything else, whether it was you know on either side of the this joint starting to echo a little bit. My bad. So yeah, y'all hit everything on the head, man. But on each side, so you know, you can go argument whether he is a system quarterback, whether he's not. But to me, I just think every quarterback needs weapons around him. That's simple. It ain't. Tom Brady couldn't do it his last year in New England because he ain't have no weapons around him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like I don't play too much into that system quarterback until we actually see him outside of that system. It ain't his fault. He just so happened to fit into the perfect system at the right time. So it's like, hey man, everybody got one system that worked for them. Lamar Jackson couldn't go to every system and run it. You don't expect Lamar Jackson to be able to run what they run in Kansas City. You get what I mean? So it's just like, you know, he fit the system. It's more of like that. I don't like to say he a system quarterback. He fit the system. That's all that is.
Yeah.
The system
On the
fit in
flip
his
side,
strength.
Lamar is the system. They built that offense around Lamar. See, you know, just like they
They
did with Josh Allen, they built the system around
You
him.
basically just said what I said. Thank you.
Yeah. And then
Every
to
quarterback has a system.
yeah, and then to the
Purdy,
and then to
no,
those
Purdy fit into Cal's system.
No, his system
Lamar
is
is
perfect
the
for. No,
system.
no, no, no. Listen to what you're saying. His Kyle Shanahan's system is perfect for his strengths. It fits his play of style.
Well, he didn't play that way in college. He just fit perfectly into what Kyle Shanahan already had there. You
Did
got
you
to think
watch?
he
Did
had
you
two
watch film?
quarterbacks.
Did
He
you
had
watch
two
film on Brock
quarterbacks.
Purdy?
He had two quarterbacks there before him. Both of them got injured, and then he got into that system and he played well in that system. Whereas Lamar, they built the system around Lamar for his
Listen,
strengths.
in order for this system,
Purdy
Kyle
didn't
Shanahan.
have
Listen.
strengths.
In order
Purdy
for
didn't
his
have
system,
strengths
listen.
that they
In
built
order
around.
for
He
that
just fit
system
into
to
what they
work,
already had.
how don't it? Every quarterback is not going to be able to run Kyle Shanahan's system. It fits his strengths. As a quarterback, that system is perfect for him. That
hey,
don't make him a system quarterback.
do Lamar Jackson already have a ring if he was with 49ers and Kyle Shanahan?
Most likely, yeah, because then he would have had to fit the system. The
Cut.
same way Kaepernick fit the system.
You think Lamar Jackson have a ring by now? Because and the only reason I ask this question, man, because like I'm
If
really
he
trying to put him in
played with San
these conversations.
Francisco, he would because San Francisco was stacked.
I can't
Their
say
team
stat.
is
I really can't say stat because they got to the championship 2 times in
Yeah,
these
in the
last
last
couple of
few years, yeah.
5 to 6 years, and they couldn't get past the Chiefs. So you know what I'm saying. I just look at it like certain quarterbacks like that. I'm tired of. I said it last year that I was so tired of putting like Lamar Jacksons of the world on this and that and the third, like in front of these other quarterbacks because they haven't really proven anything to me.
They
Like you can't
regular
even get
season
past
quarterbacks
anything
until otherwise.
until otherwise. Like that's how I
They
look at it
said the
because
same thing about Peyton Manning. For the
I'm look
longest,
I'm
Peyton
looking at
Manning
it
was a
right
regular
now.
season quarterback.
Brock Purdy he's already like, and this is just Sports Illustrated, or whatnot. And I'm just citing from this. Brock Purdy is already in line to pass Tua, Jared Goff, and Justin Herbert from where he's at now in the point of his career. So it could be stat teams or not. I'm waiting to see that 265 go to work now. Because now you don't you know what I'm saying? Like your best ability is availability.
And
Now
which
his
he's
players
been very
got to be there.
available.
Yeah, his players got to be there.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Let's shift topics, man. As far as let's get into some fantasy stuff, fellas. Let's get into
Yes,
some
sir.
fantasy stuff. Um, we was just talking about quarterbacks,
Mhm.
and there's one team whose quarterback situation as of right now is just kind of in limbo a little bit. Um, and they looking for some answers at that position. But I want to know, man, from my MPR fantasy brethren, man. let's talk about the Saints, man.
Oh, we're going to the Saints.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
Yeah, let's
let's
talk
get
about
it.
the Saints real quick, man.
Woo.
A lowly type team at the current moment, man. Offensive line has had its struggles. They were 24th in
Mm.
passing offense last year with Derek Carr and Spencer Rattler, sharing time both behind center. Ranked 20, like I said, 24th in passing last year. Now Derek Carr retires. Offensive line is still not rated very well. Um, I just want to know what you guys think from a fantasy perspective, man. The two gentlemen that are currently on our screen, um, for a lot of fantasy managers out there, man, these are two very enticing, and in the past they've been productive guys for some fantasy managers out there. At this current moment, man, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, um, what do you guys think? I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna start with you, Revenge.
Mhm.
Since you down there, since you are a Carolina Panthers fan, this is your neck of the woods. This is your division. I'm gonna start with you. What do you think the fantasy outlook is for guys that have been productive in the past, like Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara? This quarterback situation being in limbo, like it is. Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, I guess the preliminary reports right now. I don't believe nothing coming out of camp reports right now. Everybody's
Mhm.
lying to everybody, but preliminary reports say Spencer Rattler is having his best camp of his career. That's what they
Mm,
say. So,
yeah.
what you think the outlook is for Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara, two really good players, but kind of stuck in limbo.
Fantasy wise, I'm staying away from both. You don't know what you gonna get. I mean, with Chris Olave, even with a healthy Derek Carr, he at best been a maybe wide receiver two at best. So it's just like, what is his ceiling really? Is like we don't know. Yeah. At this point, we do know what we're gonna get from him. I mean, he's not gonna be too high, too much higher than that. I wouldn't take him within the first 5 to 6 rounds. Alvin Kamara is tough because
Mm.
he's old for running backs, as they say, but it's like, Derrick Henry and Saquon was considered old last year, and we
Right.
seen how they took the lead by storm. So I'm always big on a running back can always produce until they show they can't, and he hasn't shown that he can't when he's healthy. So I mean, I wouldn't. I say maybe like a RB3, RB2, low end RB2 for Alvin Kamara would be nice. I take him at the somewhere around the 8th round. I definitely, if he's there, if he's available, I'd definitely be taking Alvin Kamara.
Mm.
All
Mm.
right,
Mm.
Commish, I see you. I don't know if you settled in. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What you thinking, man? About both of these guys, man? Fantasy managers out there, they don't know what to do, man. Two productive guys, but we don't know what's going on with the Saints offense right now.
Well, I mean, they have to get that. Those two guys are their offense, and if they're gonna move the ball, it's gonna be with those two guys. That being said, like, their value definitely has dropped, being that, right now they're in quarterback abyss. Hoping that the rookie can come step in and give them something. But if he hits, then they might not miss a step. So it's a chance you got to take. They gave AK some money, and Olave is in a he's eligible for extension next year, so he's going to play hard so he can try to get that and try to put those concussion issues behind him. So those two are going to come out there to play hard. If the quarterback hit, and they got a quarterback that's, yeah, he's a rookie, but he got a lot of starts. He played some college ball. He might can
Once
step in and do something.
once again, I think we back to if you referring to Tyler Shuck, right?
He played a lot of games, right? Correct.
That ain't always a good thing.
once again, though, I think, but back to our previous topic, we also once again dealing with a guy that, and this was kind of my thing going back to a lot of our draft analysis and a lot of stuff we was talking about when we were live. Um, I'm a little taken aback that people have more belief in a guy like a Tyler Shook who has, and to Cup's point, yes, he's played a lot of ball, but he's also had 3 season-ending injuries.
Yeah.
So, and 2 of them were major knee surgeries. So, I'm kind of a little lost at the point that people, and this isn't a Shador Sanders topic. I'm a little lost. Hell, even if you want to talk about a guy, maybe a Dylan Gabriel or a Jalen Milroe, how do you feel like a guy like Tyler Shook has more upside when you've seen him go down to injury multiple times, but the NFL wants to tell us so often that the best ability, as Cup said in the first topic, best ability is availability. Well, I got a guy coming in that's 26 years old because he's had 3 season-ending knee injuries. But nonetheless, man, I don't want to belabor that topic. Commissioner Bo, what you thinking about the Saints offense moving forward?
Man, just start Taysom Hill, bro. Just start Taysom Hill. Just start Taysom Hill. He can throw it a little bit. You know he gonna run the ball. Just start Taysom Hill, bro. I'm a Kamara man. Like Revenge said, Marquis said at the top of the topic. He in that range of 15 to 20 for me. You know what I'm saying? Consensus have him right there. Olave, I had him his rookie year. He actually, you know what I'm saying, did some wonderful things. Hasn't did anything since. So I'm staying far away from him. Taysom Hill and the boys, they should run the offense. Yeah, man. I do y'all remember the trade last season when I got AK and thought he was gonna do this and do that? Then
he had an awesome first game.
He did, bro. And then I ended up trading him for Justin Jefferson and stuff like that. Like players like that and players like him, man. Like I'm learning more and more as I play. And
away from
my goal to achieve a championship in our league is to stay away from players like that. Like I'm really like my mind has been so focused this off season. I don't even care about Alvin Kamara no more and what he did of old past. If he can't do it for me in 2025 to 2026. And I can see it clearly, I'm not even giving you the benefit of the doubt, bro, to put you on my team. It's a waste of draft pick. I'll pick you up in waivers, or you know what I'm saying, like one of those trades. Like, bro, I ain't messing with them. Yeah.
I think for a lot of those flex leagues out there, a guy like Olave, the best thing I can say about him is every time he's been on the field, he's owned the target share. So basically, anything over like a 20% target share, hell, even like a 17 to 18% target share.
Yeah, and then you got Rashid Shaheed that's still there, that's young. You know what I'm saying?
Olave is consistently. He's been his best season. He was 27% target share, and even last year he missed time. And even with the 2 quarterbacks, he still is at 24% target share. So fantasy,
I think Shaheed got hurt at the end of the season too.
Yeah, but he took a lot of those. He took a lot of those targets away from Olave because, like we said, the best ability is availability. Olave wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? You got Johnson, the other tight end that was balling out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and that defense is just dismantled right now, man. Cam need to get away from there, bro. If you want to, you know what I'm saying, salvage whatever's left of his career. Like Cam Jordan.
One of the Saints also working with one of the worst offensive lines, Pro Football Focus, 28th. Got him ranked 28th right now.
Yeah, that's bad.
And kind of speaking to Commissioner Coudell, man, I think the Saints would have been perfect for young Sanders, man.
Yeah,
he's coming out of college with a weak line. He's in a dome, which probably would help him like it helped Drew Brees. You know, I think it would have been, he would have been able to show his athleticism on that carpet because it's not natural grass, you know, no wind. I really think he would have been a perfect fit for New Orleans.
Yeah.
As a fan, as a fan of Carolina, I love to see this.
Yeah, I know you do. Hey, I put it like this, man. They ain't doing no more getting the shit back from Bounty Gate and all of that. Hey, ha ha, hee hee, whatever. Get through it. Get to it and get through it, bro.
Hey
Straight
man,
up.
let's continue the fantasy conversation, man.
Let's go.
There's another gentleman that's a little bit in limbo right now. Um, as far as fantasy is concerned, a lot of people that may not agree with me in saying that. Some people think he's just fine. Some people still think he's at an apex. Let's talk about it, man.
Man.
One of our former fantasy gods of the last of some of the previous couple of seasons, man. Tyreek Hill,
Mm.
aka the Cheetah.
Antonio
Gentlemen,
Brown. Antonio Brown 2.0.
Gentlemen of my esteemed podcast too, man. I need to know, man. Beyond even first of all, do you still think Tyreek Hill is a first rounder, or do you still think Tyreek Hill can still be your ace, so to speak? Can Tyreek Hill still, the fantasy manager out there, can he still carry your fantasy football team as he's done in previous seasons? Just for clarity, I just read that he had just recently had another wrist procedure. This is the third procedure on that wrist, twice this offseason. Had dealt with injuries last year. Obviously, Tua missed time, so that affected a lot of what he had going on. Also, so what is your thoughts as far as moving forward with Tyreek Hill? Is the Cheetah still carrying? Can he still carry your team? Let
No.
me start with Let me start with Co-Commissioner Cup, man. Co-Commissioner Cup,
Yeah.
Cheetah.
That's his boy.
You've had Cheetah in the past. Yeah, I know you've been high on the Cheetah, man. What are you thinking going into the 2025 season?
I was hoping I went last. I was gonna come in with like, this is ludicrous. He is still one of the best wide receivers out there. But no, I wouldn't say he's a first rounder, but definitely second rounder, and he's definitely gonna put up numbers for whoever gets him. As long as Tua can stay upright,
Mm.
because if any other quarterback comes in, I think his numbers you'll see the difference. But as long as Tua is out there, he'll be a okay.
Commissioner Bo, what you think about that?
I'm staying away from him this season, bro. I had him last year in PPR. Traded him the cup. He burned me. Like Cup said, put it like this. I'm not gonna dismantle or tear down an 8-time Pro Bowler like that. You know what I'm saying? And what Cheetah has accomplished. I'm not gonna do that. But I will say this. Man, it's time to change environments, bro. It's time to change scenery, man. He should have been left when he said it last season at the end. What was it, the last game or one of those games before the end of the season when he said he wanted
I
out?
think it was. I think it was the last game of the season.
Yeah, man, he should have stood tall on that. I would have stood. I would have just like stood tall like the fucking Empire State Building and just stood on that, bro. I don't think it's for him in Miami. Miami is not going anywhere. I mean, we can be wild, we can be awed by what A Chain has done and doing. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was just on him. Like you got all that speed, you got Waddle, you got Hill, you got Jonnu Smith coming alive now. Like me personally, like he's a flex for me. He's not one. He's not one or number two for me. He's a flex. And both leagues, I'm talking about PPR and standard. Like it's just not there for me, bro.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in that boat as well, man. If we're talking about, he's definitely not a first rounder to me.
Mhm.
The drop off was just too precipitous. He went from, as I stated earlier, he went from fantasy god carrying teams at the number one receiver far and away, um, to 31st in points per game.
Yeah.
Uh, without Tua, he was under double digits all the week
Mhm.
without Tua. You look at that with a guy. If you just want to do in comparisons, a guy like Justin Jefferson shuffled several quarterbacks even before Sam Darnold, and those numbers never dipped in that fashion. So the dip was just it was too much for me. And now we're talking about multiple. I don't think a wrist injury like I don't think it necessarily labors a guy like Tyreek Hill that much. But I'm just saying if you're having multiple procedures on the same wrist and two in the same off season, you had knee injuries last year. He did play in all 17 games.
Mm-hmm.
So the durability was there, but 31 going on 32. I'm not investing a first round pick in that.
I will
Yeah.
say that this last surgery that he had was actually very minor. He actually had the screws removed
Yeah,
that were put in his hand to set it back right. So, like I said, man, he played in 17 games. You know, I had him in the last year. He still gave me 10 points every game. That's like
depends.
his
Yeah.
floor. He didn't
Yeah.
score a lot of touchdowns though,
Yeah.
but he would run out.
That's after I traded him because he wasn't doing anything. It
Yeah,
was some
yeah.
games I would start him and he wouldn't give me nothing. I'm talking about
Nothing.
0 points.
And a
Nothing, bro.
wide receiver need his wrist.
Yeah. And
Mm.
that and
You got to hold the ball. Somebody can hit you. You got to catch it.
facts.
That's a
And
bad injury for a
and
wide
not to
receiver.
cut you off, man, and before Marquise go, on this topic, like I look at wide receivers, especially at this apex right now, like, I look at them like they should be those type of players. I'm not saying that you can rub your talent off on anybody or whatnot like that, but how come I just don't sometimes I just ponder and think, and you guys let me know if you do the same thing. Like I look at a Devontae Adams, right? Granted, bad season last year with what I'm saying, the Aaron Rodgers experiment, right? But then I look at him now, I think he's going to make Matthew Stafford and give him his second win. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain receivers I look at Tyreek Hill. Bro, I feel like if he go back to the Chiefs, it's gonna be a match made in heaven. I feel like if you go like to Buffalo or somewhere like that, maybe, and I'm just wishful thinking, maybe Baltimore. I feel like he could be that receiver to take them over that hump that they need to be. But he don't give me that in Miami, bro. Like he just don't give me that in Miami. It's almost like I'm not calling him a system or anything like that. Like if he can get out his own way with the personal issues that's going on and just focus on football, bro, I don't care who you play with. Like you are Tyreek Hill. You're that guy. Like Cool said, you're that number one guy. Jared Rice went to the Seattle Seahawks. Do y'all not remember? And he balled out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just certain players that do that. T.O. didn't have Tony Romo no more. He had Donovan McNabb, and he balled out. And people are looking at Donovan McNabb like one of the sexiest quarterbacks in the league.
Donovan
So it
came
just
first.
okay, that's who it was. Yeah, but I just look at players like that, bro. Like they don't let their shit just drop like that because of what quarterback is back there. Granted, like I said, the talent doesn't rub off, but at some point you just got to be like, damn, bro. Like, no, we need to do this, we need to do that differently in order to make us better. But yeah, go ahead, man. That's just how I think sometimes.
What you just said about a wide receiver having multiple quarterbacks. Just remember that y'all gonna be in the blender. My God, just remember that.
Hey,
Just
I
remember that.
get it. I get it. And
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take it for what it is, for what I take it for. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at
I
I
got
go
something
to
for
some of the
y'all.
recruits. Terry McLaurin, man. Terry McLaurin had 12 quarterbacks, bro. 12. And
See,
he ain't even hit his prime yet to where he need to be at. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like Tyreek Hill shouldn't let his shit just drop off like that, bro. No matter if Tua hurt or not, bro.
he should make the
He
quarterback.
should have had Huntley in that joint, bro. Throw me some simple slant joints, my speed gonna kill. Point
And
blank
get
And
out
period.
the way.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
how I
said
look
it,
at it, bro.
and you kind of alluded to it earlier. We obviously we a sports oriented show. We a fantasy
Yeah,
football show. You alluded to it though, man. I mean, we all read things. We all see stuff. If the man would have kind of went to Miami and not did Miami like a lot of dudes do Miami,
yeah, right.
75 kids in 5 days. I
Right.
think I think the focus also off the field may not, you know what I mean? It may not
Yeah, man.
necessarily be there in the same capacity. You know, now you dealing with divorces, you got babies. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know if I can't invest anything high in that. You know what I mean? If there's one thing I've learned from my few years in fantasy, I mean, you don't think that a guy uh, having a loss, a death in the family,
Mm-hmm.
or you know his damn dog died that week or something like that. You don't necessarily know what might affect a guy's what's going into a guy's work week. You know what I mean? He might be like, man, f that game plan. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like just mentally. So I
Yeah.
just think Tyreek got to. I don't think he's done physically.
No, I don't think so either.
I think from a mental standpoint, and I also kind of I give a little pushback to some people that have brought up that whole going back to Kansas City thing too, because I don't think is nobody necessarily has to be salty, but if I'm Pat Mahomes, if I'm Kelsey, if I'm Andy Reid, like you ain't coming in here with all that. Like dog, we did this without you. We did
Mm-hmm.
this. We did. You were here. You were here for one, but we've been back multiple times.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, cool. That humbleness is already there. I just feel like certain players like
For
him.
Tyreek, you think the humble?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the humbleness. Like that's the reason why I said maybe he need that trip back to Kansas City because
Or
you forgot.
what about his personality leads you to believe that he's going to be humble?
I
I'm just
don't see that's the
you know
thing.
what I'm
That's why that's why I call him AB 2.0. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly why I call him that. Like, bro, like you get a little taste of success and you think that's that like sky is not the limit, bro. It's not the limit. It goes further than that. That's just the tip of it. You know what I'm saying? You got your ring with Kansas City.
I,
Like you
I
said,
would
they
just
done
like to
been
say,
back.
I would just like to say, this fantasy season, I'm staying away from him. I'm not drafting him in the first 3 rounds. I don't care. I
Yeah, I'm staying
I
away.
I'd rather just miss out. If he have one of them seasons, oh well, oh
Yeah.
well. I'd rather just miss out. I'm he's just that one of them players where it's just like if he go off, oh okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just too risky right now, Cheetah man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I still believe in the talent,
But if that team, if whatever team take that chance and he do hit, hey man, you might have you a pretty
Yeah.
good season.
I look, and I even said that going back to when we were talking about AK and Olave. For real, they gonna give you some games
Oh
where you
yeah,
be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? They won me one, maybe two, maybe three, maybe four games. But the long haul, nah,
don't
man.
hold on too long.
Yeah.
if he's physically 100%, I think the one guy that I think he would do any humbling for is he should go to Baltimore and play with Lamar Jackson.
And I said that too. That's one of
That's
those teams.
because I think
I
Lamar
really
is one
do.
of those guys that you know if you got a little bit of like if you come from some places like where Tyreek come from, if you know if you live a certain lifestyle, Lamar is one of those dudes he can garner respect from certain people.
Hmm.
He's done it on the field, and he's not a guy that comes from a silver spoon in his mouth. You know, he come from where he come from, and
Yeah.
he's not a chump. You know what I'm saying? He's got swag off the field. He's got you know he's cultured. He's part of the culture. So I think guys like a Tyreek Hill, those are the one guy. Like I don't think he do well with a Justin Herbert because the minute just he starts spazzing like on the sideline, like what he do sometimes, Justin Herbert, I don't know if he'll deal with that correctly.
Yeah.
But Lamar be like, hey man, come holler at me, bro. Like
Yeah.
don't do all that. Like it's a different way of dealing with things.
Them
But
Florida
that was
boys, they from that different cloth. Yeah.
yeah, but Baltimore would have to be willing to take that shot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great topic, man. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that, man.
Definitely.
Uh,
Definitely.
we could go ahead and wrap this up real quick, man. I know my good brother, Revenge, man. He did say that he had some trivia he wanted
Boy.
Yeah, we
he wanted
got player A and player B. All right.
Let me set you up right, man. Let's get into that good old trivia night. Let's go, Marquise.
Hey, so we got player A and we got player B. All right. So previously we discussed the wide receiver, and I'm gonna just throw up blind stats, and y'all tell me off the stats which wide receivers you think had the better career so far. All right?
Are you picking people or we just what we
No, no,
supposed
no. It's two. It's just two players. It's two players.
No,
It's
I'm
just
saying,
two
are
players.
you picking which one of us you want the answer, or you?
Oh, whoever think they could figure out which one is which.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
All right. So player A, all right, he played 114 games. He had 558 receptions on 892 targets for 7,531 yards, 35 touchdowns. He's had four 1,000-yard seasons. His best season total was 96 receptions, 1,364 yards, and 8 touchdowns. All right. Got it? Player B. He played in 104 games. He recorded 634 receptions on, I didn't even get his targets, but on such and such targets. He had 7,776 yards, 57 touchdowns. He's only had two 1,000-yard receiving seasons.
Mm.
And his best season is 145 receptions, 1,947 yards, and 16 touchdowns. And he has two years of 10 plus TDs. Player A has none.
Damn.
So go ahead. Entertain me.
Well, it seemed like player B had a span where he was running the show. Sound like Cooper Cup to me. But
You got it.
he had a
Mm.
span where he ran it.
Player B is Cooper Cup.
Oh wow. Good
Mm.
job. Off
Yeah.
top. Good job.
Yeah, player
Pause.
B is Cooper Cup. Yeah.
Um,
So who's player A?
Player A has
Man.
better
No.
longevity.
And these are active players.
Yep, active players. Both been in the league 7 plus years.
And you said player A didn't have what at the end? It was something.
He didn't have no season where he totaled 10 plus receptions, touchdowns, receiving touchdowns.
How many 1,000-yard years does player A have?
4 of them.
He got 4,000-yard season.
1,000-yard receivings. Yep.
And he's played more than 7 years. You said.
Yep. He played exactly 7 years.
Sound like DJ Moore to me.
You looking up stats?
I swear to God, I'm not looking at stats.
You got to be. Ain't
I'm
no
not
way.
looking at no stats. I'm going by what you're saying.
Ain't no way. Because
I
it
do
blew
this.
my mind when I saw that. I was like, no way that because you try to tell me that Cooper Kupp was a better wide receiver than Devontae Adams, and he's not even a better wide receiver than DJ Moore.
Wow.
I think so.
He just had one. He just had one fantastic season that was a flash in the pan. Other than that, Cooper Kupp has been an average wide receiver.
Good.
Well, those 2 seasons were great though.
No. That one season was great. That other, he only had like 1,100 yards. He didn't have a breakout year that year. It wasn't nothing crazy.
But it was
DJ Moore has got to 1,100 yards 4 times. His best season was 1,300, and that was a couple years ago. His first year in Chicago.
I think that was remarkable.
Not to mention, he also had a revolving door quarterbacks in Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah, when
I told you that was going to come back up. I told y'all to remember that was going to put y'all in the blender. I told you.
I think that's remarkable. I came up with the 2 names.
Yeah, to me it is. I wouldn't have got that. And the crazy thing about it, do y'all think this is a little question, side topic. Sam Darnold is with the Seahawks now, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Y'all think him and Cooper Kupp shine with Jackson?
Nah.
Being that young boy?
Nah, Cooper Kupp is on a decline, I think.
I think Jackson Smith and Jigma are going to benefit more with having.
Yeah, and I'm only asking this, like, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is, like a player switch teams and go to another team, they just get that boost of whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Stability is available.
That one, maybe 2 seasons. Because I know a lot of people saying right now that Devontae Adams, man, as soon as if Puka go down, bruh.
But you got to realize just last year wasn't really because Devontae Adams fell off a cliff per se. It was more just like the situation wasn't
Right.
ideal in either like he should have just stayed in Oakland. I mean, where Las Vegas, my bad. At that point, he should have just stayed there.
Yeah. What you was about to say? Cool. My bad.
I was gonna say, man, I think Cooper Cup I think that Triple Crown season, I think he was. They mentioned a lot of the times how many times he played through injury and how beat up he was along that Super Bowl run that they went on. I think he was beat to hell. I really think like he's not the biggest guy in the world. Like,
Yeah.
but however, going through numbers and stuff, when you compare him and Puka on the field, you know when him and Puka on the field together, he's still the number one guy. He was still Stafford's number
Yep.
one guy.
Yep.
He still dominated the target share. He still wasn't when he was healthy. It wasn't like he was dropping balls, nothing like that. He just can't stay healthy no more. So his decline is based on once again that seems like it's the word of the show. His availability. It
But
seems
also, I mean, his peak was just one season. If we're being honest,
But see, if you telling me
He won MVP
I don't
of
need
the Super
a
Bowl.
triple crowner. I don't need a triple crown every season. I need you to
no.
give me. I just need you to be
No,
what.
I'm just saying this is on the topic of like the Hall of Fame thing. This is more of just like he only had one good season. Cooper Cup at
Oh,
He
best
was
has
the
been
best
the
of
Yeah, I
all
average.
remember
his
now.
peers.
He's at no
Everybody that played
for
the
1
position.
year. For 1 year, that has happened. Steve Smith did it, and he still had a better career overall. It's just like, but nobody's saying Steve Smith is the greatest wide receiver of all time, and he got over 10K receiving yards
But Cooper Cup was the best receiver
for one
that
season.
year over everybody.
For one
Over
season,
everybody that played that position, he was the
and
best.
never did it before, and never did it again.
Nobody.
Devontae Adams has
Who
constantly
doesn't?
been amongst the top.
But
Justin
they never
Jefferson
got a
has
triple crown. How
oh,
how many? Nobody's got a triple crown more than
hey,
once.
listen, they could if they force fed Justin Jefferson the same way the Rams did Cooper Cup that year, he had 145 receptions. Think about that.
He
Some
should
people,
do that so
some
he
wide
can get
receivers
that
don't even
title
get that
because
many targets in a
that
few
means a
years
lot.
combined. So that means they were force feeding him. Imagine if Devontae Adams were getting force fed, and when him and Rogers was out in Green Bay. My God, think about this, man.
I'm
You got a
saying
better
at the
route
end
runner
of the
that's
day,
faster, bigger, and stronger. Get it? No way, no way.
at the end of the day, it's
Anybody
like
could have did it. Anybody. It was just a
you
perfect
can't
storm.
diminish that title. That's why they
I'm
have
not
that title.
diminishing it. I'm just telling you, it's just one season. Like the same way y'all be trying to kill Cam Newton. Oh, he only had one good season. He really didn't. But this is the argument they should be using against Cooper. He literally had one good season and another all right season. The rest was subpar, under 1,000 yards each season.
Uh,
Hey,
those,
Jim,
those
Hey,
those other receivers, they wish they had that title under their belt.
Oh, but that ain't gonna get you in the Hall of Fame.
It will.
you know what's so crazy about that season too,
He
man?
won the Super Bowl and he was the Super Bowl MVP. I believe that'll get him in the Hall of Fame, brother.
Eli Manning did, but you think he going there?
Yeah, he's going.
Oh
To,
my God.
he's going to Hall of Fame.
Oh my
Look at his
God.
name.
They gonna put him in there just because who he is. But the crazy
He
thing
shouldn't.
about it, I seen it recently. It's crazy that we're talking about this now in Cooper
Cooper
Cup.
Cup
I
definitely
seen
going
it
to Hall of
recently,
Fame, bro.
and when he did that triple crown in 2021, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it 2021, and he was voted only number 4 NFL player that year, man. Like Pat Mahomes beat him out, Aaron Donald, and Aaron Rodgers. Like I would think that would warn the number 1 player. You know what I'm saying?
I never
Triple
thought
crown.
Cooper Cup was a Hall of Famer, but I think, but I will say that I think sometimes accolade. We have seen guys that at their accolades can get you into the Hall of Fame. You know
He
what I
had,
mean?
he,
About
he
a
had
guy
one of the best. He
I
had
think
one
about
of
a guy
the
like
best
Robert Horry.
seasons ever
You know
for a
what I
wide
mean?
Yeah,
receiver.
look, and cool, and it's crazy that you said that, and I'm not even knocking no chips off nobody's shoulder because your opinion is just that, your opinion, right? But I always said that. I'm like, bro, like I look down at my shoes and I look at the tone sometimes, be like the greatest player ever. And I'd be like, man, these ain't Bill Russells, bro. Like I like it's just certain stuff like that. I don't even want to have that argument tonight. I'm not
Well,
I'm by far, bro.
with that, it
By
ain't about
far.
the championships. It's
But
more
I'm
about
just one.
the
Yeah.
impact on the game
But I'm
itself.
just one of those ones that I don't feel like Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. Granted, I seen him; he done amazing things. But I'm like that, bro. Like that's just the cloth that I'm from. Like
I
so
I just did take greatness off your impact. And he led a
I
cultural.
could
He basically just he saved basketball in a sense in terms of just like bringing it to the mainstream. He saved basketball.
he's
MJ,
Messiah, man.
the
I can
bad boys.
imagine.
Don't get me wrong, the bad boys was a great team, but they wasn't must see TV. Nobody didn't want to watch a brawl for 40 minutes, man. Like
I
hey,
can
when Jordan
imagine
came in,
if
he
if
brought
they
that little
never
spark. He
kidnapped
brought that
and
spark.
killed his dad, how many he would have won in a row, man?
who
How
was that?
many other accolades he would have, man, if he wouldn't have missed those 2 years that
You
Houston
know,
won because he
Oh
took
yeah.
a
I mean,
hiatus to get his mind right.
we would never
we'll never
know.
know.
You know
Never
what I'm
know.
saying? We'll never know. But it's just like I just look at certain things for what it is, man. Like we call a lot of people greatness this, greatness that. Like, what are we really gauging it on, bro? Like everybody
That-
want to call LeBron the GOAT. Like, is he really the GOAT? Like, what are we really gauging it on? Like, I don't
He's
care about no
longevity
scoring champ.
wise.
Yeah, I don't care about no scoring championship, this and that and the third. Because granted, the way technology is now, and if you got the money to take care of your body, yeah, you can play 20 fucking 30 years in the league.
Get
Like
Tom
that
Brady.
just like Kobe did it. Kobe was one of the first ones that I seen spending $1 million a year on his body, hearing about it. And then when LeBron and them started getting that, you know what I'm saying, woof of it, and then go and see Akeem Olajuwon for the footwork and stuff like that, yeah, that put that longevity on you. So somebody can wipe that out if they feel like they're that next person to come, But like I said, man, like to me personally, I think Julian Edelman will always be better than Cooper Cup, and it ain't for the rings for me.
I don't see.
It's not for the
I don't
rings.
get. I don't. I think that when you say what's the gauge for
He
greatness,
had the GOAT throwing him the ball.
when you
Oh
say
my
the gauge for greatness, dog, it's when the hard work meets.
That
It's
makes
when
a
the hard
difference.
work meets the talent. That's
Mhm.
why for me, I'm probably not. I know everybody. I'm always biased when I take part in this conversation because
Yeah.
with the
He
whole
also had
Chicago thing.
arguably the greatest coaching him.
But for me, dog, you talking about like your eye.
That's why I said I don't want to
Richard
talk
Pryor,
about it. I
Richard
don't want to talk
Pryor
about it.
said. Richard Pryor's joke said, "Hey man, who you gonna believe, me or your lying ass eyes?" I've always been, I've always been of the belief that I always believe my lying ass eyes, and
I
these
get it.
lying ass eyes have never seen anybody move, play, and work as hard as Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. Bill Russell is great, but Bill Russell shot in the 40 percentile at 6'11" against 6'3" guys.
So when I say gauging it, so how can you gauge it now? So that means Steph Curry should be the
I
GOAT
can gauge it with my
because now
eyeballs.
now the perimeter shot has
I got
gotten
Steph
even
Curry
further.
in my top five. Most
You know what
people
I'm
don't.
saying?
Curry don't have an all around game. He's a defensive liability.
Yeah, but I'm just looking at it, and then so that's
Kobe
what I'm
won't
saying.
coming off the floor in the clutch.
Listen, the argument can go on and on because it's just like what we gauge it. I'll always argue down, not because like he's one of my favorite athletes, person of all time, but Kobe Bryant, bro. I remember that year when Dirt and the following year Nash won the MVP. Like, bro, them niggas won't even put like this dude was putting 40-point games up consistently. He scored 81 points in one of those seasons. How he not the MVP, bro? He made
Biased.
his team better. But y'all want to
And
get Dirt and Nash 2 years back to back. Bro, it don't make sense.
Duncan got one.
It don't make sense to me. So we like I said, what do you gauge it off? Like, what do you really gauge it off, bro?
I
A
don't know.
lot of the people
I don't,
didn't like Kobe.
Yeah.
I get it, but hey, that I mean
That played a part in the
but
media,
but you
media
know why
mess.
that sucks so bad, bro? Because
The
you just told me the
controversy he
other day.
had at
What you
times.
tell me about Halliburton the other day? And it's crazy because Indiana playing there. You said the league, like what, 90, 80 or 90% of the league said he wasn't nice.
Yeah.
It
Oh
was
yeah,
something you
he
said
was
about him.
voted. He was voted
Most
by his
overrated.
peers as Mr. Overrated.
What?
it was
Most
only 20.
most
Only
most
20.
overrated player in the league is what they
What?
voted him
And
Only
I'm
20.
still gonna say
Hey,
what?
hey,
by his
was
peers.
that list was for. I said the same thing when I saw that list, but that list was fraud. Only like 25% of the league took part in it.
And it's still that's still too
So I
many.
mean, that's not every single player. So if you got the other 75% of the guys, some of them dudes probably riding the bench. Some of them dudes, Tyrese might have took their girl. You never know what the hell be going on.
Yeah.
Like 25% of the league, and don't get me wrong, I can kind of see what the argument is for it because I'm kind of of that belief too. I'm not of the belief that he's the most overrated guy in the league.
No.
I'm just saying that I just think that system ain't it. I hate the Pacers, so I'm staying out of it.
I mean, I get it. I mean, but before we close, bro, if you want to say most overrated, I can start talking about Damian Lillard. Like that's just my personal preference.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No.
Let me ruffle some feathers. I'm just saying. Let me ruffle some feathers. We can do that all day.
That's a good argument, though.
You with a whole nother team, and this ain't ticking no more, bro.
Like
a rollie. Rollies don't tick. This like a rollie at this point, bro. Like, cause you ain't doing it.
No, I can't.
That's tough.
I ain't calling that
Just
one.
saying.
I ain't calling
That's tough. That's tough.
Dame
I know.
did what we always beg. He did what we always talk about the superstars. Why the superstars always got to run to go play?
But he put his own foot in his mouth with that when he was with Portland. I remember him saying it. Everybody teaming up, doing this and doing that.
He said gonna earn his. I'm gonna get it out the mud.
You gonna get it out the mud too.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, but he was busting ass. It ain't like I'm out here struggling. I'm busting y'all ass. I'm NBA. I remember they voted me NBA top 75 of all time. I'm top 3 of all time 3-pointers made. Like this ain't like a dude that's like talking it. I'm busting y'all ass by myself in Portland. I'm making the playoffs by myself in Portland. Don't talk to me about no CJ McCollum.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Yo, we could go
did
on
like
and
LaMarcus
on.
when he was there though.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
That was for 2 years. They played together for 2 years.
Nah.
But I digress. I feel it, man. I feel
Me too.
Y'all got to put some respect on Cooper Kupp name, man.
Cooper Kupp ain't a Hall of Famer, but he's a great player. He's a great player.
He's a Hall of Famer though. He's going to get in the Hall of Fame.
No, he's not.
He got the triple crown. He got a Super Bowl ring.
Listen, if Steve Smith didn't get a first ballot, what makes you think Cooper Kupp gonna get in?
Because Steve Smith don't have a ring or a Super Bowl MVP.
Steve Smith have a triple crown. He has 7+ years.
He'll have a Super Bowl ring or MVP.
Hey, it don't matter. We're talking about accolades as the player. Winning the Super Bowl does not get you in the Hall of Fame. Your accolades as a player.
See Eli Manning. Eli Manning.
Why Dan Marino in there? Why Dan Marino in there?
Because he ain't got no Super Bowl.
Mr. 4,000.
But why is he in there? His accolades as a player.
He's in there because of your eyeballs, like I told y'all at the beginning.
They lied to you.
Your eyes, when you turn on you watch Dan Marino and you see him throw the football, you know that's the greatest story you've ever seen.
Poetry in motion.
Period.
Poetry in motion.
It's not hard. I hate Aaron Rodgers, but when you watch that boy throw the football, you know unequivocally that is one of the best throwers you've ever seen.
Yeah, and I had to pipe down for him too, man. Because at the end of the day, he only got one, man. It was a period in time we were hyping the bad man himself.
I kept telling y'all that everybody.
Eli has more than him.
Yeah, and I get it, but look,
Eli beat the GOAT twice.
Eli got one of them joints on the side of Tyree helmet. You know what I'm saying? You know,
beat the GOAT twice though.
If they put Eli Manning in there, they have no choice but to put Phillip Rivers in there because Phillip Rivers have way better accolades. He just don't have. Once again, in order to get into the Hall of Fame, it's about what you do on the field.
Hey, I want to ask Bo, you can hit the end button on this. I want to ask.
All right, we out.
Look. I want to ask.